Skinner, how you doing, man?
Ian, Cron, and Percy. How are you, Percy?
Oh man, Percy's good. You know, Percy is my reminder that the universe is essentially a place where love rules.
Oh, that's sweet.
Look at this guy. Isn't he something?
He's loving like the position that you have him in too. He doesn't want to get down. I
He
can
doesn't,
tell.
but we're gonna let him down. But he's a perfect introduction to talking about what number on the Enneagram today.
The twos, the helpers.
The helpers, the lovers, right?
Yes. Tell us about the twos.
Man, this is the second installment in this series of posts about how we can be our best selves in the middle of the coronavirus crisis. And man, do we need some twos, right?
Oh man, definitely.
Wow, man, we need the helpers. Helpers are pretty extraordinary. You know this. They're innately warm. They're generous. They're self-sacrificing. They're people who are super attuned to the feelings of others and know how to address people's needs in a way that can be really, really wonderful, right?
Right,
Really,
right.
really great. But you know, we got struggles as twos too, right?
Yes. So one of the things I was going to ask you is during this time, I'm guessing that twos are going to be feeling a lot of pressure to help and to be helpers. So what are some things that they can watch for?
Yeah. So when a two lacks self-awareness or they're not very skillful, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will begin to try and gain approval from others through calculated acts of service. Okay. And that is an unhealthy two's attempt to win emotional support without having to come right out and ask for it.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
And that rarely ends well.
Yeah. So what are some things, maybe give us, again, you've been helpful over these last week and the weeks ahead. We're going to be talking about tips for each number, what some things that they can be watching for to be more skillful twos or threes or fours. So what are some things that twos can be aware of?
Yeah, man. So here are some tips. One would be respect other people's boundaries.
Okay.
Okay. So not everyone sequestered in your home wants you to cook them a big breakfast every morning, right? They don't want you necessarily to organize their sock drawer and tell them afterwards, right?
Right.
They don't want you to organize a Monopoly game so everyone can be together in the same room doing something at the same time, right?
Right.
Now, this requires that you practice discernment, right? And that takes time and energy, but it's really important for twos to ask themselves this. When the urge to help arises, they need to ask themselves, is this act of helping that I want to perform right now a selfless act or a strategy to win approval and appreciation and the emotional support of others without having to come right out and ask for it?
That is a great question. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Okay. What about another one? Another tip?
So as unnatural and uncomfortable as it may feel, twos need to practice telling others what they need, right? So what you don't want to do right now, if you're at home with people, like playing the I'm fine, how can I help you game?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm fine. Is there anything I can do for you game? You might be surprised, twos, to find out that when you come right out and directly ask for what you want and need, how responsive people will be, how grateful they will be that, you know, that you're connecting with them at that level, right?
I think that's to me, that's a great practice for every number during this time. I mean, it's just something to highlight, to express like what you need, what you feel, as everybody's kind of shut in each other's space. You know, that's a great one. I love that. How about number three?
Spend 1 hour in solitude every day.
Wow. Okay.
Now that's going to be hell for twos.
It's going to be a challenge. Yeah.
It's going to be a challenge for lots of them. Typically, this is important. Helpers suffer from an addiction to relationships.
Okay.
Now, twos, threes, and fours all have issues and struggles around identity, right? So to bolster their fragile sense of identity, twos compulsively want to connect and spend as much time with others as possible. And that includes on the phone, by the way. So it's not just, physically present. It could also be over the phone, FaceTime, whatever. They just want to connect, relationships, right?
Yeah.
Spending regular time in solitude can gradually dispel the myth that twos have no identity apart from their relationships with other people.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
That's a good practice to go out on. Maybe one more question. What are some things that you could tell us that self-aware twos embody during this time? What are some good things for them to be aware of?
Yeah. Well, you know that I believe that every number on the Enneagram embodies some characteristic of the nature of God. In some way, they radiate or manifest the character of God in a particularly unique way. And for twos, you know what? They embody the love of God. However, they need to remember that the love of God comes without a hidden agenda or conditions.
That's good.
That the love of God comes in a radically self-donating way.
Wow.
Right? And that's the kind of love we need in the world right now. We need love that is not trying to get other people to organize their lives around satisfying our agendas, right? We want our egos to, we want to reduce the swelling on our ego so that it's right-sized and we're able to see what we're doing in the moment, make the right adjustments, and love other people in as pure a way as we possibly can.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a good way to go out.
It's going to be fantastic. We're going to be talking about how threes can embody their best selves too.
Awesome. Good to be with you all.
Good to be with you all. It's good to be with you, Anthony. Don't forget.
Good to be with you.
Everybody keep doing things, okay?
Doing things. See
you later.